Hey there, I'm Dr. Ruth Roberts, the original holistic pet health coach. I hope everyone is doing well. I am is mostly shining. However, the power is out. So if my signal gets a little dodgy, it's because I'm running off of cell phone. But having said all of that, first I want to say thank you for participating in this community, for being here with us, for sharing your experiences, your difficulties, and letting the coaches help you. This has been just a work of passion for me to develop this program to train people to be able to help you, the pet parent, know what to do next. And based on the fact that this group has grown from 385 people in August to almost 39,000 in January, just tells me, and all we did was change the name to Holistic Pet Health and allow Facebook to suggest this to you. So this tells me how hungry you are for help, for getting the information you need. So let's rock into it. Lisa, hey, great to see you. One of the things I want to tell you in my travels, so I got to go to Phoenix, I got to meet these three beautiful women: Becky Scott, who owns Fetching Dog in Scottsdale; Sandy Reynolds, one of our graduated coaches, also in the Scottsdale area; and Shannon Wallace, one of our students. These women are super smart. They are ready to help you, whether you live in the Scottsdale area or, in Shannon's case, in Prescott, either in person or remotely. If you are in the Scottsdale area, go check out Becky's store. It is insanely great. She's got it divided up into frozen food, fresh foods, freeze-dried kibble, not too much kibble because she's a smart woman, and then an apothecary, all sorts of really amazing treats. So that is the first thing I want to tell you. And then the second thing is I am going to jump into our group on Circle. So most of you are hanging out in the Facebook group, which is awesome. But we have another community that's totally free, totally private, i.e. it's not privy to prying eyes, so we can discuss a little bit more here. So I'm going to go through some of the questions that are here. And of course, if you are on, Evelyn, welcome. And if you've got questions, please post them here. So Evelyn, I'm not sure what you're making for your Chihuahua. If you're making the original Crock Pet diet, yes, I can tell you that's going to be super duper helpful. And actually, since you guys have got some questions, let me answer these first. So the underlying cause in Cushing's is going to be that partly that the adrenal glands are producing too much cortisol, but also that the liver is not able to clear it very effectively. So if we can use food and supplements to help improve the way that the liver is functioning, then we can start to make some real changes in terms of diseases like Cushing's or spay-neuter syndrome that are a result of excess hormone accumulation in the body. Same thing with hyperthyroid cats. I can't tell you that we can get all of them off of medicine, all of them off of other supports, but I've had the just amazing beauty of seeing so many animals improve simply by feeding a real whole food diet. Now, I'm going to also tell you I am not a raw advocate because my training is in traditional Chinese veterinary medicine. That's the path I went. And for me, this is what works best because the majority of the clients that I encountered, both in practice and in consultancy, their guts were already a wreck. And so the spleen in Chinese medicine, that's a capital S. So it's tough. If you're feeding it cold and damp, it doesn't do well with cold and damp. And in a functional medicine perspective, again, we need to get the gut working to take up part of the detoxification process and also assist the liver in clearing out waste products. So Evelyn, not sure what you're feeding, but Yeah, so I mean, you've got a lot of starch in that diet. So pumpkin, green peas, carrots, and green beans. I would encourage you to add a lot of leafy greens, broccoli, chard, kale, spinach, those kinds of things. They help the liver function a little bit better. So Lisa, you've got a 7-year-old male intact, and that's a big bonus for your pups. 6 pound, no vaccines or pesticides, inappetence, weight loss, colitis, albumin, no biopsy. So no definite diagnosis, but low albumin means the liver is not happy and or he is unable to absorb the protein appropriately. And let's see, turkey, egg whites, pumpkin, betaine. So, Lisa, this is where you want to, the coptis is really cold and the gut needs warming up from a Chinese medical perspective. So there's several awesome formulas, one of which is Buplarium Harmonize or Buplarium Calm Stomach. Let me make sure I'm telling you the right thing. That Dr. Besant with Herb Smith has developed. And these are prescription type products, but any type of basic support spleen is going to help you out. So this is, again, you've got a lot of stuff going on. So if liver qi stagnation is one of the main causes of GI disease and also discomfort in the spleen, that's where we can start to see some real major issues. So I'm going to post a link here to this formula. Contact my support staff. They can help you out with this. But really, I think you've got a lot of stuff going on, and really you need to warm the stomach up. So you're focusing on supporting the liver, it looks like, with the diet. But again, what I'd encourage you to do is to really add in some leafy greens. It's the other thing that's happening for both of you, as I said, is that the gut's not working very well. And so it is important to make sure that you know that the gut is functioning better. One of the best ways to do that is to do something called a Glacier Peaks pet sensitivity test. If you're not familiar with that, here's the link. And what we found is that this allows us to identify things that are potential problems in the diet. And when we do that, then we can construct something called a rotation and elimination diet. And what that does is help the gut to kind of calm down, stop the immune system from reacting, and really start to get some healing going. So that's one of the basic things we do. And again, this is where the coaches can really help walk you through this. Now, yes, it's going to cost you something. But the other thing I'd like you to think about is that it's going to cost you something if you do nothing. And if my average coach is somewhere in the neighborhood of $100 for a consultation, and it varies depending on the coach and their level of experience, that is $100 well spent. So maybe with this process, you'll spend $300, maybe $400, and actually get, including the testing and all of this stuff. So, but you'll actually get some information you can work with and move forward with and have somebody that has your back. So that's super, super, super critical, that you have somebody you can continue the conversation with when you hit roadblocks, when you hit issues that just are totally unexpected. So to give you a frame of reference, many of you know that in 2016, I had to retire from practice. I'd had a major mold exposure and I couldn't think straight, literally. And indeed, I was diagnosed with mild cognitive impairment in 2017. Now, if you've had friends or family with that diagnosis, you know that what that means is that I'm not supposed to know my name. I'm not supposed to be able to continue talking with you. And I took the diagnosis and sat with that for a little bit. And then I started figuring out, what can I do to get rid of this? What can I do to get through this? And what can I do to get better? And took a long time, took me a couple of years. Part of it was moving out of the Charleston, South Carolina area to get out of the mold and humidity. When there's high humidity, there's high mold. So that helped. My brain came back online. And I'm continuing to drill down into it. So I've had a little bit of a resurgence last year. And this is what I want you to think of. So take a deep breath. I had a resurgence. I had a dip in my health condition. And so what have I done? I'm working with a friend of mine, Maria Gonzalez, who is an amazing functional diagnostic nutrition coach. She is in Panama. For those of you that are native Spanish speakers, I highly recommend that you go and check her out, because I think she is one of the few people in this area, and she works with a lot of people in Mexico, but she is a brilliant woman, and she's helping me walk back through the process. Now, I know a lot, right? I know a lot about how to fix this, but when it comes to understanding what I need to do for myself or for my pets, sometimes we lose our, so that's important, to really find somebody that you trust to help you walk through the process. To say, I can text Marivi and say, is this normal that I'm actually having more diarrhea because I, added in these supplements? And she gets back to me and says, yeah, you're detoxing, you're cleaning things out. Just set yourself up and know that this is going to be a process, and you'll get past this, and then things will be better. So that's what I'm trying to tell you. If you're having chronic problems with your dog, with your cat, these coaches can do that for you, because it gets confusing when you're in the middle of it, when you're reading hundreds and hundreds of web pages, and many of them are of opposing opinions, right? So you need somebody that can sit down with you and figure out what works for your dog, for your cat. So I cannot say this strongly enough. We have got to find a different way. And searching on the internet and buying a $300 supplement kit that may work or may not work for our pets is not the way. You need a guide. I needed a guide, and that's what I'm doing. I'm taking care of me. I want you to take care of you as well. And I want you to take care of your pets in this way. Find someone you can trust. All right, enough of the soapbox. Let's go answer some more questions. So this is in our circle group, and Annette is writing about her cat with urinary issues. So she's gotten this diagnosis of, we used to call it feline lower urinary tract disease or idiopathic cystitis, and the resurgences seem to be of an unknown cause. So we had a perineal urethrostomy. So for male cats, they obstruct because the penis gets really tiny. And so literally this surgery is opening up the urethra by removing a large portion of the penis. So he's been on this diet of canned Purina UR they put some other things in there to support the bladder, and it stops the red blood in his urine, but it's still not right. So they tried switching him a few days onto canned Blue Buffalo urinary care, and things got worse. So what does that mean? What I want you to think about is this. Here's the colon, and here's the urinary bladder. If there is dysbiosis in the colon, in the GI tract, guess where it goes? That's right, into the urinary bladder. So this is another situation where we need to get this kitty help to support the symptoms so he doesn't reobstruct, so he's not painful, so he's not miserable. But ultimately, we have to work on the gut. If we don't fix the gut, we're not going to fix the urinary troubles. So that food switch tells you that something in the Blue Buffalo he is sensitive to. And what's now important is to figure out what. Again, Glacier Peaks test to help determine what food sensitivities may be present, and then work on getting this guy switched over, ideally, to a home-cooked diet, and then start just going through that process of healing the gut. And as we do that, we will see that the urinary bladder gets better as well. So another thing I want to make sure that you all are really aware of, there is a lot of stuff going on right now focused on Purina being the evil spirit, the evil thing. And maybe it is, maybe they're not. It's not just Purina. Farmina, some um, other brands are coming up that we think of as better quality brands. So what does this mean? It means that unless you are cooking or making food for your pet, whether it's cooked or raw or lightly cooked, you are not in control of what your pet is doing. And so many people will ask me, what do you do? What do you do? What food should I feed? And what I'm going to tell you is I don't know what commercial food is safe to feed, because ultimately all of them are going to have problems. And Jay, really awesome to see you. Love you all, the two crazy cat ladies. You're doing amazing stuff. And I need to contact you because I want to ask your support in helping educate the coaches more about kitties. What I'm trying to tell you is until you make the commitment to make a whole food diet for your dog or cat, you will always be at the mercy of the pet food manufacturers. And there are a lot of good people out there, but stuff happens. And you have control if you're doing it at home. So what I'm going to tell you about kitties is it's tough. If your cat is already on canned food, you are so far ahead of the curve. Making that transition from canned food to cooked food is much easier. So again, Annette, if you are struggling with this urinary tract issue, step one is go back to the Purina. I hate to say that, and I know you went to the Blue Buffalo because you're like, holy crap, what's going on? Go back to Purina, or frankly, go buy the Crock Pet diet. Go buy the book or whatever. Start with the starter recipe, because this is the easiest way to transition cats from commercial food to a cooked diet. It's got a little bit of butternut squash. It's a little sweet. It's a little happier for them. Start there. Get on real food, and then go do a Glacier Peaks test. Super easy to do. Hair, saliva, put it in the envelope, put it in the mail. You get results back in a week to 10 days. Go do that. Start there. Use some D-mannose if you're not using that already to help control the inflammation and the discomfort. Use, interestingly enough, glucosamine or chondroitin to support the discomfort in the bladder, as well as the other supplements you are already using. So I hope that's helpful, but it is just critical that we take responsibility for ourselves, for our pets. So Diane, I love this question. So I've got a 5-year-old greyhound who has so many GI issues. She can't figure out what to feed him, and he is miserable. And what I would say is this: if you're not sure about who the right coach is, all of my coaches are trained to work through these tests, and additionally, they have my ear every Monday. We have coaching calls for 4 hours a day where I answer their questions. We work through cases together. They get the support of the other coaches. So this is what I love about this community. We have truly created a collaborative community where these folks are supporting each other instead of being competitors. So what I'm going to tell you is that there is no wrong choice. We will make sure that you're getting the info you need. So what I would do is go to the coaching page, choose someone that appeals to you. And one of the things we're going to be doing is updating the pages with videos so you can get a little bit more of an idea about their personalities, that kind of stuff. And just start. We will back them up. We will help you make sure that you get what you need out of this expression. Julia, I'm loving these questions. Where do you sign up? Go check out the consult page I just dropped. I'm going to drop it one more time. And Jen, thank you so much for those comments. Right on. Jen's one of our students. She is getting really close to the end. And I'm so thrilled and so proud for these women because they are making differences already, even as they are learning. And Heather, welcome. You got the Crock-Pot Diet ebook and courses package and going through the videos. That's awesome. So 2 of your dogs need to lose weight, and the 3rd dog has lymphoma in the liver and spleen and went into remission. So that's freaking awesome. And let's see if I can get down here. So what I would suggest is this: do schedule a session as you can, but just start making triple batches. And an easy way to do that is if you have a roaster pan for a turkey that goes in the oven, just throw it all in there, throw that in the oven, set it at 275 degrees. A lot of people will use the tabletop roasters as well. And for the dog that's got lymphoma, I know you just dropped a bomb getting him through chemotherapy and into remission, which is fantastic. There's a couple of things you could consider. One is a keto variation, and so this is where you may need to do something a bit different. And then the other is a low methionine diet. So we think of keto diets as being really supportive for cancer, but it turns out on the human side that methionine is an amino acid, and it is something that the cancer cells preferentially need. Now, this is going to wig you out a little bit because it ends up being a lower animal protein diet or more fish-based, but it has been extremely effective on the human side. When I was researching it, I noticed that Mars Healthcare also was. And guess what Mars makes? Royal Canin. Okay, so first, go to real food. Keep doing it. Do the gradual changeover, and I think you'll be really pleased. And beautiful. Amy, great to see you. I think you're one of our coaches. Reach out to Hannah to get you helped out. But if you're not familiar with Pets Pimp, I ended up choosing this company because they make a beautiful pulsed electromagnetic frequency device. And the reason I went to this instead of a CC loop is that it's $400 for this pad, and actually the pad we have in the store, we need to update these photos, is double this size. And so it's big enough for a dog, big dog, little dog, all of those good things. $400, you have a rechargeable device that will last for at least 2 years. You have the ability to modify the treatment programs so you can support, like if your dog is like Hayo, you can support anxiety as well as pain, as well as accelerate healing. And there are additional settings that you can make to really design it specifically for what you need. For instance, there's a lot of evidence that PEMF will support pets with cancer. And the folks at Pets PEMF have a very active Facebook group. They've got some literature based on scientific studies showing what settings will be best in terms of supporting pets with cancer. And this video I kind of walked through. Actually, this is the size of the device if this thing will play, and maybe it will. And again, I'm on a slow connection, but you can see how big this thing is. I mean, there's Hayo being a little worried. I turn it on and literally.
Hi, I'm a proud.
So check that out. It's been super, super helpful for many, many pets. Now, the other cool thing that's going on is that we are backing the BK Pets book tour. And it's really cool because I've been getting videos from Angela and my coaches that are hanging out in actually San Diego, and then I think LA is up next. So I'm going to jump back over here, make sure that I'm in the right lane. This is our coaches. Sorry, y'all. There's so many things here. Yeah, let me jump back here. So Pam, we did have a turmeric product, and what we found was that it was okay, but it wasn't, the palatability was iffy. So what I would suggest doing is looking at Ayush Herbs. I think we still have some of their turmeric powder or turmeric capsules in the store. So go check that out and definitely keep rolling. Here's one of our beautiful graduates, Hollis Tomasia. So that's fantastic. Let's see. Come back over here, see if we can grab a couple of more. Angie, welcome. Glad to hear you're getting your goldies up going. They're handsome boys for sure. And Jade, welcome. Gemma's beautiful. I think that is it on the questions so far. So welcome everybody. It's great seeing all of these beautiful pets hanging out with us. What a beauty. So I think I'm going to come back over here, make sure that I am getting all the questions answered. That is very cool, Kay. So Kay got the mat and she bought it to help with arthritis, but this dog hasn't had any more seizures, which is amazing. That's so beautiful. So I think that when I've been using the mat, first the Assisi loops and now the mat, for anxiety, for Hyo, I think what happens is it almost rewires the brain to be calmer, to be more at ease. And that's, interestingly enough, for those of you that deal with chronic disease, one of the other initiatives that Marivi turned me on to is something called the Gupta program. And the idea is that you can rewire your brain to calm down. So with many common diseases, so for instance, mold exposure, chronic Lyme, that kind of stuff, we can see that the brain is just constantly on. And if you've had this experience like I have, one of the things that I know means I'm starting to go sideways is that I'm just not happy. There's no joy in life. And this is part of what this program does, is retrain the brain so that the amygdala, which kind of helps you balance between your autonomic state, sympathetic and parasympathetic, puts you into that calm, heal, digest, rest state. And it's very powerful. So I've been playing with this quite a bit. You can do a 28-day trial. Super, super useful. I've started working with it only about a week. And what I'm finding is that it's a reminder of the things that I know and the things that I let go of because I was well, right? So these are states of disease where we have to kind of keep working at it and keep ourselves in that place of taking care of ourselves. And I went off track. December, January, found myself really feeling badly. So that's my focus now. Get back on track. Take care of me. If I don't take care of me, I can't take care of you. And if I can't take care of you and my coaches, then my value in this world diminishes. That's one of the things I want you pet mamas to know too. If you don't take care of you, then the whole ship goes down. Take care of you as well as you are taking care of your pets. So that's what I'm going to leave you with today. We'll see you next week. We've got some really cool stuff coming up. A lot of our brand partners coming in to help educate you about their products, the solutions that they provide, and all those beautiful things. So until next week, have a wonderful one. Go hug your pups. Go hug your kittens. Take a deep breath. And will you do me a favor? Will you shout out some love in this chat and make me a promise that you will spend 3 minutes a day with your phone turned off or into airplane mode, just being present with your dog, being present with your cat, and commit to that time on a daily basis. Let's see it go. Give me a yes in the comments, or give me a thumbs up on the little emoticons and stuff. Okay? Thank you. Take good care. See you next week. Yes, yes. Good, Marqueta. I love that. Lisa, right on. Yes, you got to take care of yourselves, ladies, because nobody else does. And until you make time for yourself, we're not going to get there. All right. Love you guys. Talk to you soon.